Welcome to Color Me Green, a podcast focused on making the world a greener place. I don't really have much to catch up on as of this week. I spent the weekend just pretty chill and thought that I was going to get a lot more done, and then I procrastinated, and it's just really difficult, having a full-time job and then having to come home and work on all of the things that you want to be your full-time job. It's really kind of tiring, so I've just been spending a lot of time sleeping and napping and relaxing. So while I have the time, we're just gonna sit down and record this. One of these days, I might actually be the kind of person that gets caught up and plans ahead. But, until that day, here we are. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. So today's episode, we are going to be continuing the series of sustainability-focused careers. I've already done 2 other episodes like this, and I think it's really interesting to just learn about careers that I had no idea existed. That's really kind of what I focus on, learning more about what those careers do for the environment and how they help in ways that we probably had no idea. There's a lot of jobs that we've discussed already that I had no idea existed, and it's really interesting to learn how certain things are done and that people actually do them. So for this episode, we are going to be focusing on another 3 careers, and today we will be covering the career paths of a conservationist, environmental consultant, and a food scientist. Starting with our first career path, we have the conservationist. A professional conservationist, compared to just someone with a general interest in conservation, is employed to protect things, places, biological life, and ecosystems. This encompasses archaeology and the protection of cultural heritage, whether it involves preserving historical structures or artifacts, as well as ecology focused on protecting individual plant and animal species, among other things. These professionals can also specialize as soil and plant scientists, delving into the preservation of distinct ecological components. Someone looking to pursue a career in this field typically has 2 avenues to pursue. The first option involves hands-on roles as conservation workers operating directly on the ground in various capacities. For example, archaeological conservationists might work in laboratories, cleaning and preserving discoveries from sites, ensuring their storage for further analysis. They might also engage in land clearance to eliminate plant species that could harm historical structures. The second path involves becoming a conservation scientist, which focuses on theoretical work over practical applications and involves more laboratory research than direct involvement with artifacts, sites, biological life, and ecosystems. These roles often encompass research and development of conservation materials and techniques across all fields, often drawing from the realms of biochemistry and biophysics. Conservation scientists might find more diverse career options available to them, often requiring a multidisciplinary approach. The conservationist has a nature-focused perspective that focuses on preserving the natural world. Closely linked today with resource management and sustainability practices, conservationists influence political agendas and involve the emotions of the public as they advocate for ecology. A few of their various roles may include the following: applying theoretical information to practical problems in the environment, working with individuals and agencies, including farmers and engineers, to develop conservation guidelines, perform evaluations of natural assets, network with landowners, developers, engineers, and planners to examine land treatment. Moving further up in the careers, senior conservationists may perform the following. They may create strategic partnerships to improve resource management, continue to develop programs that address ecosystem conservation at a local, state, and international level, secure private and public funding streams for conservation campaigns, identify public approaches that may be effective tools for conservation, improve the ecosystem through widespread conservation planning. The term professional conservationist is a versatile designation that can be applied across various fields depending on one's educational background and area of expertise. The available employment opportunities are heavily influenced by the specific discipline in which the candidate is a skilled conservationist. In the realm of ecology and landscape preservation, significant job prospects can be found within governmental entities like the National Park Service, Forest Service, Fish and Wildlife Service, and National Resource Conservation. Archaeological conservation specialists operate within museums, university departments, and also independently as consultants. Independent professionals may offer guidance to developers on preserving historical structures during construction or advising on the care of sensitive areas near protected heritage sites. The concept of archaeological landscapes is an emerging aspect of this field, highlighting the significance of entire land areas, not just the existing monuments and remnants, in terms of historical value. This understanding is crucial for future construction projects and interpreting historical artifacts. For professionals in ecology and ecologist conservation, various opportunities may be available in government positions such as the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, and national parks, which are responsible for protecting the natural environment. Those focused on animal conservation might be employed at public institutions like zoos and aquariums, engaging in programs such as breeding initiatives. Additional options include scientific research roles in university departments, particularly for specialists in soil and plant conservation. A bachelor's degree is generally appropriate for most job positions, especially for individuals interested in direct conservation work. These roles involve hands-on interaction with materials, artifacts, plants, and animals. This practical aspect of conservation includes activities like conducting field visits, collaborating with stakeholders, managing materials, and eradicating invasive species from sites. While formal qualifications aren't always necessary for conservation jobs that involve manual labor, obtaining proper training becomes crucial for advancing one's career. Roles such as site management, project organization, direction, and positions requiring specialized expertise typically demand a bachelor's degree. For conservation scientists, having a bachelor's degree, typically a Bachelor of Science, is the minimum requirement. However, individuals aiming to excel in this field should realistically aim for postgraduate qualifications such as a Master of Science. These advanced degrees are vital for engaging in laboratory work and developing a focused specialization. Doctoral degrees, or PhDs, are indispensable for research-oriented positions, especially those within university departments or the private and nonprofit sectors. A salary for conservation work can vary greatly based on the field of expertise and the chosen work location. Those involved in conservation, categorized within the broader group of conservation scientists and foresters by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, had a median income of $64,020 as of May 2020. Compensation for individuals engaged in conservation practices and labor tends to be notably lower, approximately half of the earnings of their counterparts working as scientists in the respective fields. This is primarily due to the comparatively lower level of qualifications typically needed in these roles. When we look at the career outlook, it is expected that there will be about a 7% increase in the average requirement of conservation scientists from 2020 to 2030, which aligns with the typical trend in the industry. However, this demand could differ based on factors like employer, industry, and potential clients, making it challenging for students and recent graduates to accurately predict the extent of the rise in demand. For instance, fields like ecological conservation and animal and botanical conservation might experience a more rapid growth in demand compared to areas like archaeological conservation. Moving on to our second career, an environmental consultant. An environmental consultant specializes in offering specialized knowledge and guidance concerning environmental issues to businesses, organizations, and government entities. They assist clients in navigating intricate environmental rules, analyzing and lessening environmental risks, and creating sustainable approaches. Environmental consultants aim to ensure adherence to environmental laws, decrease the effect of human actions on the environment, and advance responsible environmental practices. These experts may be engaged in various facets of environmental consulting, such as evaluating environmental impacts, addressing site contamination, preventing pollution, planning for sustainability, or meeting regulatory requirements. They conduct evaluations and research to assess the potential environmental consequences of proposed projects, pinpoint possible risks or obligations, and devise strategies to limit adverse effects. Environmental consultants collaborate closely with clients to establish plans for environmental management, implement optimal methods, and provide suggestions for sustainable practices that match regulatory standards and community expectations. Their efforts contribute to protecting natural resources, conserving ecosystems, and fostering a more sustainable and ecologically aware approach to business activities. The duties and responsibilities of this role can vary depending on the specific project, client, and industry. A few of the common responsibilities include the following: regulatory compliance, environmental remediation, sustainability and conservation, environmental management systems, stakeholder engagement, and data analysis and reporting. Along with this, environmental consultants can specialize in various areas within their field. A few of those areas including environmental impact assessment consultants, which assess the potential environmental impacts of proposed projects or development. They conduct investigations to assess these impacts on ecosystems, air and water quality, biodiversity, and societal factors. EIA consultants offer suggestions to minimize adverse effects and ensure alignment with environmental rules. Remediation consultants specialize in handling and lessening environmental pollution. They evaluate polluted sites, create plans for remediation, and supervise the cleaning process. These experts aim to restore the environmental condition of polluted areas, such as contaminated plots of land or polluted water sources. Sustainability consultants focus on aiding organizations in adopting sustainable behaviors and decreasing their ecological impact. They evaluate resource consumption, devise strategies for energy efficiency, waste reduction, and carbon emissions control. Sustainability consultants also help implement sustainable supply chains and corporate social responsibility initiatives. Ecological consultants study and evaluate how human actions impact ecosystems and biodiversity. They assess ecosystem health, perform habit evaluations, and propose actions to safeguard and improve biodiversity. These consultants might participate in projects related to conservation planning, wetland revival, wildlife oversight, or natural resource management. Water and air quality consultants concentrate on evaluating and enhancing water and air quality. They supervise pollution levels, conduct water sampling and analysis, and create approaches for mitigating water and air pollution. These consultants work to ensure compliance with environmental benchmarks and encourage unpolluted and secure surroundings. Environmental policy consultants possess expertise in environmental regulations, policies, and standards. They support organizations in comprehending and complying with environmental policies, create advocacy strategies, and provide insights on policy ramifications. These consultants may collaborate with government agencies, nonprofit entities, or businesses to shape environmental policies and regulations. The work environment of an environmental consultant encompasses a mix of activities, including fieldwork, office tasks, client site visits, and occasional travel. Fieldwork is a substantial aspect of the role, involving visits to project locations for evaluating environmental conditions, gathering samples, and ensuring compliance with regulations. This facet of the job entails working outdoors in diverse settings like forests, wetlands, or industrial areas, sometimes demanding physical effort and adaptation to varying weather conditions. Office responsibilities constitute another pivotal facet of an environmental consultant's workplace. Consultants dedicate time to analyze data, conduct research, and formulate reports and proposals. They employ specialized software and tools to scrutinize environmental data, create models, and generate visual representations. Direct engagement with clients and stakeholders is frequent for environmental consultants, occurring both at client sites and during meetings. This involvement might encompass attending meetings to discuss project prerequisites, delivering progress updates, or participating in negotiations. Proficient communication and adept relationship building skills play a vital role in establishing client trust and ensuring successful project outcomes. When looking to become an environmental consultant, like most career paths, obtaining a bachelor's degree is one of the best places to start. Most workers in this field get their degrees in environmental science, environmental studies, environmental engineering, ecology, biology, geology, or any other ology, or another related discipline. Moving on to get a master's degree in any of the above disciplines can provide a competitive edge in the job market and open opportunities for higher level positions or specialized roles. A strong foundation in the sciences is essential for understanding environmental principles and conducting assessments. Although they are not mandatory, certifications can demonstrate your expertise and enhance your credibility in your field. A few notable certifications include CEP, Certified Environmental Professional. This demonstrates expertise in environmental assessment, management, and policy. CHMM, Certified Hazardous Material Manager. This demonstrates competency in hazardous materials management, regulatory compliance, emergency response, and pollution prevention. LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. This focuses on sustainable building and design practices and demonstrates knowledge and understanding on sustainable building principles and practices. Environmental consultants earn an average yearly salary of $76,530. The highest average salary being at $88,800 in California and the lowest average at $40,800 in Mississippi. The entry-level salary starts typically at $46,200, with top-level consultants' salaries beginning at $129,000. There are currently an estimated 89,500 environmental consultants in the U.S., and the job market is expected to grow by 11.1% by 2026. Moving on to our third and final career, a food scientist. Food scientists play an important role in maintaining and expanding the nation's food supply. They ensure that food processing centers meet health guidelines and research ways to improve a food's taste while adding to its health benefits. Food scientists study the nutritional value of food, look for new food sources, and try to make processed food healthier. This career draws from the fields of biology, microbiology, chemistry, and engineering to look for better ways to select, preserve, process, package, and distribute food products. They may analyze both raw ingredients and finished goods, as well as experimenting with new additives, substitutes, and production processes to promote healthier food products, as well as inspecting food processing centers to ensure their facilities are up to standard. Their daily duties, like most careers, vary based on their area of specialization. Their work may involve partnering with engineers, production personnel, and marketing experts to resolve any product development problems. Whether their position involves basic or applied research, promoting food safety is also an essential component of their job. As new food products and processing methods are developed, they may be relied on to ensure that no harmful agents are introduced to the ingredients being used. Food scientists work in laboratories, offices, and in the field. They spend most of their time studying data and reports in a laboratory or in an office. Field work includes visits to farms or processing plants. When visiting a food production facility, certain biosecurity measures must be followed, such as wearing suitable clothing and tolerating the environment associated with food production processes. This environment may include noise associated with large production machinery, as well as cold temperatures associated with food production or storage. Those looking to enter this career path need at least a bachelor's degree in agricultural sciences or food science, although many earn advanced degrees. Undergraduate coursework for food scientists typically include biology, chemistry, botany, and plant conservation. Others may include food chemistry, food analysis, food microbiology, food engineering, and food processing operations. Many students with bachelor's degrees in application-focused food sciences or agricultural sciences earn degrees in applied topics like toxicology or dietetics. Those with a major in more basic fields, such as biology or chemistry, often get their PhD within agricultural and food sciences. The average annual salary for food scientists as of 2021 was $78,340. The lowest 10% earned less than $44,160, and the highest 10% earned more than $128,160 annually. Employment for food scientists is projected to grow as research into agricultural production methods and techniques continues. In 2021, there were about 14,400 food scientists employed in the U.S., and the market is expected to grow 6% by 2031. The need to address challenges such as increased demand for water resources, combating pests and pathogens, and changes in climate and weather patterns is also expected to create jobs in this field. I want to thank you for listening to today's episode of Color Me Green. New episodes come out on Wednesdays, and hopefully each one has something you can take away and learn from. If you want to request a certain topic to discuss, please feel free to message me on the show's Instagram at Color Me Green Podcast, linked in the show notes. If you loved today's episode, please make sure to leave a review and let others know what you think of the show. One of the best ways to help change the world is to share this episode with a friend and let them also learn what they can do to live more sustainably. Always remember to reduce, reuse, recycle, and live green.